Hello, Uriol Solsona. How are you?
How are you? Thank you. Fine, well.
Okay, so you are a consultant at Sotheby's International Realty.
Yeah, that's it. Here at Sotheby's International Realty in Barcelona, I help foreign investors buy commercial real estate in Barcelona area.
Okay, so your job is you help investors?
Yeah, well, that's it. First, I think 80% of my job and my team is finding suitable real estate that represents a good opportunity to invest, and the rest of the time is dealing with them, presenting the properties and choosing with them and analyzing.
Okay, so I understand that there's a commercial investor, a professional international investor, that they want to invest in Barcelona, and then they look for a very reliable agency, and this is Sotheby's, that is an international brand with a worldwide
of course.
reputation.
When you go to a new country to invest, many of the things and the law and the practice and the returns and the management is different. You need reliable house, a reliable partner that helps you through the process. And you know that Sotheby's or brands of the kind, they have a worldwide standard, which is the same as the quality, and they understand the foreign investor. So that's it. Commercial investment, it means professional. You're not buying for yourself, you're not buying for your use, you're putting your money as an asset in a real estate that will give you a return and probably likely value gain over the time.
Okay, and what is commercial real estate?
Okay, well, I sometimes I have fun with that. Is you're investing when you're leaving all your emotions aside. So you fall in love with your numbers, not with the views, right? Sometimes we lean to find something. I fall in love with the views, and okay, but maybe what about the day you want to sell it back? It will be another one who falls in love like you. So I mean, cities like Barcelona and the types you were asking are residential. Residential. You can buy, from an apartment and they rent it out, or maybe an apartment with a tourist rental license, etc. Or, depending on the size, you're looking for a building. You're looking for a compound. And then if you're a professional, you know how to give it value, how to create value. For instance, with a nice design, with a professional management, with, for instance, giving co-working style to it, communal facilities and communal spaces when people who are traveling will meet up and will enjoy them. So by adding value to the residential, you will get a better performance in terms of yield and probably a better value the day you sell it back. So residential, it's easy to understand, but indeed, it can be a passive investment. You don't need to be here doing it. It's a mature market. You will find professionals, and we can advise providing options of professionals who will operate that to them. Then you can take it to hotel. If you have a hotel license, hotels are in big demand, The number of tourism, the number of hotel nights, it's growing exponentially. It's due to keep on growing.
So any kind of hotel, boutique hotels, big hotels?
It depends on your budget, but they are all working. And indeed, you can, probably the sweetest spot is you buy a hotel that it's been a bit decadent or needs capex, needs renovation, because it has been like the same for 20 years, for 30 years. You buy, you create value, putting your experience, putting your design, taking good designers, doing an improvement. So you put it on a higher scale and you improve it better. So some of the demanders are hotel groups who would want to expand, or others are, investors who, hotels will give them a good return and a good value. Aside of that, we can invest in offices. Offices.
You?
It depends. In the top locations, a trophy asset in the main avenue can be 4%. That would be 3.5%. But again, it's a trophy asset. There are some elements that make you think, I have in the main avenue. Amazing. You have in the main avenue in Barcelona, and you have a fantastic brand there. That makes you happy. But indeed, the day you want to sell it, it will be easy for you, and it will always be rented. Offices, Barcelona, for instance, has a ratio of empty offices that tells us useful information of less than 5%.
Less than 5%.
Less than 5%.
Offices in Barcelona
Yeah.
are empty.
And empty. And considering we have been building thousands of square meters in the area of Pueblo Nuevo, and they are rented out. They have, already tenants and demanders. So
There is very high demand.
and there is. The same with retail. Somebody you want to shop and you think this is good. And then there is a commercial real estate, a bit more specialized. Some people want hospital use, a nursing home, a hospital, logistic. Probably people who buy this real estate is because they have experience with that. They have in their own home countries. This is their field of knowledge and expertise, and this is what they want.
More related with industry.
Yes, that's correct. And services, etc.
Do you think that is a good time to invest in Barcelona right now?
Oh, absolutely. And this is for several reasons. First, you have the proof. Investors are coming to Barcelona in the last year. I think 50% of all residential were bought by foreigners. Why do they invest
50,
here?
you mean 50%?
Exactly. They came here for a series of reasons. First, Barcelona is one of these successful cities that are taking everything. In the past, people in the countryside were happy there. They created their industry. They stayed there. Now there is a trend. Young people, entrepreneurial people want to go to the big cities where they find likewise people
For networking,
social, personal,
reasons.
and business reasons. So many. Indeed, some people come from other cities and they find Barcelona, the price you get, what you get, and the price, and they say this is very competitive. The same thing cost me a double or 3 times over in my home country. And let's not forget, this is globalization. If you're working remotely and you have to decide where will I stay, I prefer to stay in Barcelona or in whatever, in the Arctic Circle, that maybe you prefer to come here and work and have some fun. So this is one of the reasons. Also, the city has a future. It has a legal and regulatory safe environment. There is sustainability. There is a plan for the town. We don't have any weather problems or weather events like other places.
Hurricanes, no earthquakes usually, so no big...
No sharks on the sea.
Okay.
So you want to splash after work, you can do it safely. It's very well communicated. It's wonderfully located. So the demand is high and the trend is not changing. On the contrary. So this is why what you get for the price you pay, and it's wonderful to live here. Indeed, you feel at home. You come from any of the 190 nationalities and feel at home here. You can work out, you can work with English, for instance, or the foreign languages.
You can manage in English.
Yes, I know people who didn't decide to make the effort yet to learn Spanish, and they have been for years.
So a commercial investor, how much is the yield that he can get depending on the type of investment? So whether it's a residential, it's a hotel, it's a shop, it's a logistics, some plant, some factory.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we first meet, this is one of the points that they tell us. Like, my goal is getting like 6%, etc. Well, in residential, if we buy single apartment, we're going to get on yields, rental yield, maybe not more than 4%. Then if we buy a compound, if we add value, if we give some services, we can go 5-6%, up to 7%. Retail will give you more about 4-5%. The more prime it is, the less will be the yield. But usually they tell us, and we can get, let's say, 6%. But this is important to remark that this is the daily yield, rental yield. But we buy also thinking of a value gain, thinking that it's going to hold its value, it's going to increase in value. In the last maybe 20 years, it's been 3-4% on top of that. Also, it's you have liquidity. I mean, anytime you want to sell it in a short time, you can sell it. I mean, there's going to be demand interested in your property. So this is the return.
4 to 7%, more or less, and then the value increase is around 4%.
We cannot assure the future, but it has been. In other words,
if we look backwards, is what people got.
Or in other words, investors here, they think, they are aware, they are quite reassured that their property is going to not only hold its value, but increasing over time, like probably everywhere else in the history of. So yeah, that's a fact.
So if there's an international investor, commercial investor, who wants to invest in Barcelona, what will be the steps that he has to take?
Oh, easy. It's in a new city, in a new country, is get advice from local experts, and they will guide you through the process. And one of the very first steps, it's getting legal advice.
Legal advice.
Yeah. So who is going to buy? Myself under my own identity, or am I going to incorporate a new company, special purpose vehicle, or a subsidiary from another country, or the holding will be anywhere in the Netherlands? So legal and tax advice also. Another point is getting my documents ready to buy. In Spain, we need local ID. We call it NIE for foreigners. It takes some time, so it's better to your lawyer
To start as soon as possible.
guides you through that. So that when you find something suitable, you can be quick, you can be competitive, because there will be other players there, and you don't want to be slower than they are. So legal advice, it's a must. And in parallel, your real estate advisor will be discussing with you. You will be reviewing options. That's it. Once you have found something, you're going to need probably a due diligence. So again, there will be legal, technical, probably urban aspects that your consultant and your lawyer will help you, be playing on the safe side. Not more than this. So this is why new market, you try to find a lawyer or a consultant real estate that you have they have the same standards all over the world, and it's a trustable and dependent. With that, you're going to play safe.
So step number one, get a lawyer. Get legal advice. It has to be a property lawyer, I guess. Maybe corporate lawyer if they want to incorporate, and also tax lawyer, that's indispensable.
Exact.
Okay, we also, if there's any investor that is interested in contacting you, how he or she can find you?
Oh, easy. Barcelona, Sotheby's International Realty, and we'll be glad to talk and discuss their needs.
Okay, thank you very much, Oriol.
My pleasure to be in your channel.
Thank you.